Well, welcome to my channel Mispronounced Adventures. My name's Alex and welcome back to Nordic Arctic Round 3. New personal record, minus 38. Quick recap of current events. I'm currently in Kiruna, northern Sweden, and I'm broken down on a campsite. The van made some weird noises. Sounds a bit rough this morning, which turned out to be the alternator clutch pulley. I've replaced alternators before, so I thought I'd have a go at replacing the alternator clutch pulley. Didn't go so well, broke tools, couldn't get it off, and also broke the auxiliary water pump. New alternator price was out of the question because it's almost triple the price of a UK one in Sweden. Ford eventually swapped the alternator pulley for me because I walked into the dealership holding my alternator. Just got my alternator back to now fit back to the van, and still waiting for a new auxiliary water pump. So let's get on with it, and hopefully after 7 days, get off this rather nice campsite. Right, coolant pump out. Unfortunately, the whole part I've got to buy is including that bracket, when really the pump's fine, it's just that top section, but need to get a new one, so easier just to get the whole part here at short notice at least. So you would have seen on the old one, it's not spinning, very true. Be moving, not locked in both positions. So when you lock it, it should spin in one direction, or freewheel, and then lock in the other, and that's what the new one does. Just need to get it back in now. Whilst I could wear a head torch, once again, the Arkfeld Pro is definitely such a useful tool. Magnetic base as well as the charger, so do check in the description. You're going to find more about this particular light or my individual video on it. Right, bottom bolt in loosely now to get this one. This one seems to be really stiff. I've got to kind of pry it back on. Actually, that's gone way easier. There's a little bit in the middle and I just tapped that once with the hammer and it's just shoved it back a bit that I can get near enough, get this in with a little bit more adjustment to go. Come on. Please go in. Right, both of those are nipped up. I haven't got a tension wrench, so I've just done it by hand to be hard, but hopefully that will be fine. Right, that's the positive cable put back on, and now to put the D plus connection back on, which is it's a smart alternator. That way. Come on. Right, alternator wired back in. Just need to reattach all of these brackets which hold cables and stuff on now. Right, this is one of my favourite tools. So it's a Milwaukee M12, like smaller drill bit. I use it for most of my projects, you've seen it, but it came with 4 heads. So you have your normal head, and then you've got this nice right angle one you can position any way you want, which is really convenient. It's also got an offset one and a chuck, so it's a bit of a 4-in-1 power tool, and this thing is absolutely brilliant. Unless it's too big to actually fit it, then I might rescind it a bit. Oh no, it's fine. There we go, one bracket mounted. Where are the other bolts gone that I need? Oh, that's definitely not my 13 mil. That's the travel duos. Right, that's alternator is reinstalled. So let's put the belt back on. Timing belt is back on. So now I just need to get this back on. All really that's left to do is get it running. So, all being well, this should run. And as long as it starts off and doesn't eat the belt, all's good in the world. That sounds normal. That looks normal. Just make sure there's no fault codes. No fault codes, cool. Excellent. Right, let's bog it down and put both the DC-DC chargers on. No problem. Right. Oh, so glad that's sorted. Right, just that coolant pump whenever the new part arrives, and I'm good to go. One job down, one to go. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to make a bodge fix of the auxiliary water pump, so I'm going to have to wait for the new one. Time to get cleaned up for the day and use some of the campsite's facilities. So, currently in the disabled toilet at the campsite, mainly because the men's is being renovated, but it does say make use of the other toilets. They've got a nice shower, but you can't hang it up anywhere, so I do encourage you not to have a long shower unless you bring your adapter from the van. That'll do. On the short walk back to the van, my ear's frozen. Oh well, I'll defrost in a second. Right, a bit of a surprise today. So minus 0.5 outside apparently, but on here I'm getting 10.8 degrees and 19 degrees in the cabin. I'm only assuming that my temperature sensor's heated up and the sun's going through the window. Oh, it is nice and warm in here and pretty bright. I might check how much fuel I've got because I've been here for like a week. Not bad. Now that I've got some force-free time, might as well put it to good use and finally get the Kuma internet router system installed, which I was given to review, and as I installed the antenna a few episodes ago. Let's look at the rest of the kit. The antenna, guide, SIM card, although I've got my own SIM card already, 12 volt DC cable, as well as a plug-in wall socket, AC to DC, a bunch of antennas, although we won't need the Lite ones because we've already got it. And quite conveniently, just a little set of adapters for SIM cards. I think I can't remember what SIM card I've currently got in my current router. It might not be the right size, you can size them up. And that is the router itself. So the LET or my roof antenna is going to plug in there, and this is my Wi-Fi antenna. These Wi-Fi antennas are actually quite big. Yeah, they're actually quite on the large side. So I need to figure out where I'm going to put this. My current one's up there, but with the size of these antennas, it's not really going to fit easily around there somewhere. So I think I might run it behind the back of that cupboard over here. Yeah, I think for the time being, for the purpose of the trip, I'll probably VHB tape it on here, and then I can have it stuck up there, out of the way. Antennas can be pointing out, and actually it's quite close to where what cables can just run directly into it. More or less the way I'm going to integrate it into my current system is I've got my 4G router, and then I've got a TP Travel Link router, which is what all my devices are connected to. The TP Link Travel router gets its 4G internet connection via Wi-Fi from the existing router. I'm just going to tell it to connect to the new Kuma router instead, which means I don't have to reconnect all my devices. Right, let's very quickly make up a power cable. So this is one of the cables it comes with. I don't really need to use this, so I'm going to cut it off, turn it into my actual power cable. That is fused, however. This is now not fused, so I'll... Yeah, let's just chuck a fuse on it. Right. There we go, we'll neaten up the wires later on. Right, now that all the cables are down here, let's get it all plugged in. We'll get it up and running down here so you can actually see what's going on. Right, lights were coming on. I'll get the SIM card out of my router. Right, let's power off my current router. Whoa, that battery is puffed up and squishy. That's not great. Lucky mine is already in an adapter, so just insert it in the hole. SIM card in. Right, let's go grab a phone and do some setup. Right, I've got the other phone out, which is recording. I'm now connecting to my router, I believe. And more or less, setup's pretty easy. Connect to the device, open up a browser, find its local ID, and then change the Wi-Fi name, password, and go from there. Then logged into my TP router and then told it to look for its internet connection at the new unit. And that's it, really. I don't have much more to say at the minute. The setup was generally easy, and I want to be able to test it for a few weeks and months first before I actually see how good. But initial impressions, internet's working, and having an external antenna definitely seems to be improving my speeds. Right, after a bit of fiddling with my setting on my other router, I've now made the access point connect to this one, and got some flashing lights. So let's see if it's working. Alexa, are you connected to the internet?
I am connected to the internet.
Well, there we go then. Right, all that's left to do then is just get it mounted. If you want to find out more about this internet system, look for the link in the description and some discount codes there. Right, on with what else I'm up to. As I still had time to kill before the new part arrived, I went for a bit of a look around Kiruna, found a shop which sells 3D printing filament just in a store, which is pretty amazing, and then looked completely not suspicious by hanging around looking at an all-wheel drive Transit of Ford, because I'm planning on getting one and replacing the current van, and had a look underneath to see what engine preheater they fit by default in the Nordics. Although weirdly, the fuel line wasn't connected up. But after some more days waiting, the message finally came in to come collect the auxiliary water pump from Mecca. So let's go. Right, it's Wednesday morning, we're back at Mecca. The auxiliary water pump should be in. That's the last part I need. If I get that, I can get the van moving and I can get going again today. So fingers crossed it's coming. It's got it. The last piece of the puzzle. So back to the van, get this on, drive. Well, service the van, get out of there, then drive. We are back in action. One broken one, one not broken one. There we go. I mean, the bracket's completely different. The pump's the same. Why is the bracket different? It's very different, the bracket. Alright, so at the end I just replaced the pump on the bracket. So now I can go get this back on. Well then, here it goes. That might be easier with a spanner for that one. I was quite happy with this bypass, to be fair. I think it was quite good. Bit of lube. Right, no, I won't. We'll just do the other one whilst we're here. More lube. Right, now we're back together. Let's get a nice engine preheat, get it all warm, because I've not started it for a couple of days, and then finally let's get out of here. Let's get the van started. It's preheated, so it's all perfectly fine to do so. Power steering. Yep, now the engine's off, I can feel that still pumping around. So, the van is all working again. Right, let's go top the water off and get off this campsite finally. Bit of snow whilst I was here, well, mostly drifting, as my cable's buried. I'm just about to leave, and these guys look quite stuck. I might go tow them out. Right, we're going to be the good person I am. I'm going to go tow them out. There's my tow. Right. There we go. No problem at all. Where are my keys? Right. Good deed done. She absolutely insisted on paying me, which I've refused multiple times, as you would as a Brit, for helping someone, but she wouldn't let it down, so I guess it's a pride thing as well, right? The pride for me to say no, but pride for her to say thank you. She offered me 500 krona. Krona sec. Oh, sorry, gearbox. But my key card to get into the point of service the van's only got about 6 minutes left on it to get in this door, so I can get some water for the van. So I need to be quick. These hoses just make life so simple. Oh, it's just overfilled slightly, so when I take a litre or two out, I'll go back to 100%. Alright, let's go return this. Right, this time I might actually be able to get to leave the campsite. So I tried to leave a minute ago, had to rescue that person. Went to reception. On the way walking back from reception, I got a message from my boss at Roma asking if I could do a consultation in 13 minutes time. That's now done, but the person I did the consultation with, if you're watching, knew I was in the Arctic and watches the YouTube channel, which is always hilarious. I mean, there's quite a few people who have done consultations with building their electrical systems for their vans on Zoom calls have recognised me from YouTube. Right, let's finally get out of here. So, just leaving because I'm about to do some shopping, and I've realised I've been broken down for about a week, and I think the total cost in parts were about £400 to £500 that's including 6 nights on the campsite and the broken alternator toolkit, and then the pulley and the water pump. So maybe £550 this whole thing's cost me. Normally per week on this trip I spend about £500 to £600 a week. And I do a lot of driving, so a lot of that fuel is fuel. But I think breaking down might have saved me money, or at least broken even. It's not because I was stationary for so long. I didn't use any fuel or do activities, so or even eat out much. So I've not cost myself any more actually, which is a nice feeling. It's a British van. So I got to the supermarket, did my shopping, and then I bumped into Aid. So Aid is the person who organises the barn. So quite a few different YouTubers and other van builders have been building in a barn in the UK. I think Mel's there. Ad's built his van there. I think there's a few others who have been building there. And he's the guy who sorts that out. And he's come up to the Arctic. And I said I would meet him. And that's turned out to be today. So didn't take much convincing. We're back on the campsite. And he's just getting set up in his van. I'm getting set up in my van. And I'll hang out with him this evening. I don't mind. Anyway, it's a nice campsite, and it was about 4 o'clock today, so might as well just enjoy a night on the campsite and get a good day of driving done tomorrow for getting on with the rest of the adventure after the van's fixed. Well, another night was enjoyed in the campsite bar, but finally, I'm going to try and leave today. Well, there is another person stuck there in the same spot. But apparently they were there last night and they're not here at the minute, so I can't really pull them out and offer any help. So there we go, otherwise I would. Oh well, let's get out of here then. Well, with the point of this trip to try and hit -40, and at the minute no cold weather on the horizon, I thought I'd drive north. The travel duo who had helped me out with the alternator earlier were deliberating if how far north they wanted to go, and I said I'd join them to head to Nordkapp, so heading north to go find them. Right, heading over the border into Finland on my route north. Don't think I've taken this border. What's it before? Where is it?
Turn left onto E45.
There's Finland.
Hi.
We're in Finland! Right, onwards into the night. Right, approaching the Norwegian border. I'm pretty sure this is the Norwegian border where I got chased after my first year. The customs car came after me. Yeah, this is the one actually, I remember. Let's get out of here. We're in Norway! Well, I think I'm currently following a bunch of Norwegian military police. I'm not going to overtake them. I just hope none of them stop quickly. It'll be embarrassing to slide into the Norwegian military police. I think I got let past military police, but now I'm a bunch. They all pulled over for me. Now I'm in front of another group of military. I think I'm in the middle of a set of military vehicles. Well, I just saw trucks up for the BV 206s. And that was pretty much it for the evening. I drove into the night and parked up about 20 minutes south of Alta, and was rudely awakened by this gentleman trying the doors of the van. Right. Oh well, that is a lot of plant. Anyway, so far this morning, I'm about 20 minutes from Alta. Had a weird guy try the door of the van, which was my first time anyone to my knowledge has tried the door of the van. I thought it was quite windy last night, quite windy this morning, but then there was no wind noise, and then the van rocked, poked through, and there's a old guy just ran in front of the van looking at stuff. And I get out and confront him, and he just doesn't speak in English, or pretends not to speak in English. And no idea what he was saying to me, pointed to my lights, and then those military trucks turned up and he got back in his car and drove off. Maybe I need to look into a 360 camera system. Anyway, on to Alta. Thor has been around quite a long time now. It looks quite spring-like, and it's, well, towards the end of February really. Hopefully we get some more snow. Although I am going towards the coast, which is always milder. Man, the HS60 or something? Those Mans, I've done a few electrical conversions for them to work. Oh, that's the cathedral. Well, actually, you can't see it on the camera, but I can see it in reality. This car park is the one I got stuck in, if anyone remembers, from last year. There we go, there's Chris and Sam, travel duo. Oh, and that is the conditions I got stuck in as well. Oh, there they are. Quick stop in Alta for some coffee and cake, followed by a shopping trip. These are what I want. So these are the snowshoes I used when I was doing my IML training, international mountain training, years ago in Germany. Or the company, and I like the boa themes on them. That's what I need for my plan. With Chris and Sam well and truly convinced to head north to Nordkapp, we get on with it. Well, if I'm up in Alta, we know where I'm going. Driving, actually with Chris and Sam, they came all the way up to Alta and then they're going to go across to Tromsø. And I kind of thought, well, you're this far north, you should just go to Nordkapp. So they took little to no convincing. So we're going to Nordkapp. It'll be my third winter going to Nordkapp. It's a fun little goal, but I've got something a bit extra planned this year. So we'll get into that later on. But we've got good weather, we've got warm weather. It's 5 degrees currently, which is normally bad, but it's been 5 degrees so mild up here that actually all the snow on the road has melted. So there's no slippy black ice or wet ice, it's all just wet and dry tarmac. And the weather, the winds for the next few days are 15 miles per hour. Really not bad at all. So good opportunity to do it really. So 3.5 hours, and the later bit of that, some of the best, well, some of my favourite driving bits in Norway. Right, we're on the E69, and I'm going to assume that it's open. Well, at least we're going to have some stunning views on the drive to Nordkapp. That was a completely new road and tunnel which bypassed that entire thing. That's one of the areas I've driven past the last 2 winters, but that road is no longer in use. It is windy! This is the famous car park where I got blown by the wind the other year. And it's and I'm over to hunting truck to get some supplies and then carry on. I remember this car park well for all the wrong reasons. Looks like where I hid from the storm the other year. Is no longer somewhere you can hide. So they're building a whole place down there. Nice, you have to see someone hide. What? Right, let's go get some supplies from the Remy 1000. Right, little top up done. Onwards to Nordkapp. I mean, there probably isn't going to be that much interesting stuff to see as it's dark. But since we're all being well, we will stay there tonight. And look at the map, all the gates are open, snow gates that is. So we don't have to wait for a convoy, and we can just stay up there tonight. Which means you get to avoid all the like tourists in the morning, because there's a cruise ship currently in Vanlife. Right, this is the really steep bit of this drive, which is a bit sketchy. Let's put more lights on. Yeah, we made it. Oh, we're making it. I've lost Chris and Sam. Oh, this snow's deep, isn't it? "500 meters. Since it's winter, no need to pay the entrance fee. Okay, there's a lot more snow than other years. It's a British van, and he's just getting set up in his van. Right, they're getting parked up. Let's go for a little wander over to the most northerly drivable point on the continent. Right, it's so windy. See it there. Third U-turn into Nordkapp. Oh, it's very slippy. Oh. From this point, the audio became unusable, but more or less the clouds parted and the northern lights came out. I was able to get a few shots I wanted to get over the last few years but failed, which was the Nordkapp monument and the northern lights. After that, we went back to the vehicles. We were able to get a few more of the northern lights display in the main car park before a coach load of sightseers turned up and the coaches left their main lights on for the rest of it, which made photography impossible. So we retired to the Travel Duo's van and played Uno Flip for the evening. Well, good morning. I don't know if you can hear this over the wind noise, but currently at Nordkapp before the tourist vehicles get here. Occasionally I oversimplify and ask you something to be, and I say it's a northern point, it's not. It's the most northerly drivable point. That there is actually the most northerly point. It's a bit too windy to be flying the drone, unfortunately. It's blowing offshore as well, so I won't be getting it back if I did. Leave there. Oh, caravan up there. 3 British vans. Right, that's Nordkapp. Let's actually get on with the real adventure. Right, real adventure. Let's get out of here first. What is the real adventure? Well, the real adventure is that's Nordkapp, and I've oversimplified it in the past by saying that's the most northerly point in continental Europe, which is wrong. That is the most northerly drivable point. That peninsula over there is the most northerly point. And since yet in this season I've not done any form of trek, let's go trek to the most northerly point in mainland Europe on foot. And that's going to be the end of this episode. Thank you very much for joining me. Do consider subscribing to the channel, leaving a like and a comment, checking out the rest of Arctic Series 3 or Arctic Series 1 and 2. And other ways you can help support the channel is look at some of the links in the description. I work for Roma, which is a British lithium battery company, and I've got an affiliate link for their batteries. I use their Extreme Series batteries in my van, and I also do their electrical design consultations. I'm a brand ambassador for Autoterm, and Amazon links and a bunch of other stuff. But really, I just want you guys to enjoy the content. So thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.